Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the project we're making today. Isn't it so beautiful? Okay, I'm going to open it up. So it's a box. Let me give you the measurements. Now I'm going to change this up. This is Mossy Meadow. I wanted to see what it would look like using Petal Pink. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to like best until after we make it. Okay, so this is going to use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And then we need Whisper White for our flower here and for our greeting. Petal Pink for the center of the flower. And then the Designer Series paper. This is the Magnolia Lane. And this piece measures 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. This one measures 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. And these two measure 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. That's for the sides. Okay, so we'll start with the box. Let me get the Simply Scored scoring tool. I'm going to place it on the 8.5 inch side first. I call that the portrait side. And I'm going to score it at 1 1/2 on both sides. So 1 1/2. Then on the 11 inch side, I'm going to score it at 1 1/2, 5 1/4, 6 3/4, and 10 1/2. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up to the score line on each of these. Okay, and now this side. Okay, so down here on this 1/2 inch section, what I'm going to do is remove this and remove this. And then just give this a very slight angle trim, okay? Nothing dramatic. And then the rest of these tabs, I'm going to trim those just a tad, okay? Maybe a little more than a tad. These don't, it doesn't matter how much you trim off of them, but this 1/2 inch section, it does matter, okay? Now, let me show you the template. Here that is, okay? So, we want to use the 1/2 inch or the 1 inch circle punch for this part right here. 1 inch. And then down here, see this angle cut? This is actually too much. We just want to give this piece right here just a slight angle trim, okay? We might have to trim it a little bit more when we go to assemble the box, but we will know once we get there. So I'll let you know, okay? Okay, now I'm going to fold on the score lines. So I normally do this step first, but on this box, I do it afterwards, okay? I need to remove those. Okay, so now for the adhesive, we're going to use tear and tape on our 4 tabs. Even though I'm using Petal Pink this time, I suspect that I may like the Mossy Meadow better. I'm not sure. I felt like the Mossy Meadow made the flower pop, but I could be wrong. Since I am a visual person, I really don't know until I actually see it. Okay. Y'all have to let me know what you think about the Magnolia Suite. I love it. So bring this up and bring this up. Now, for this one, for these 2 tabs, they're going to go in here because this is the bottom of our box. This is the top of our box, okay? So I want to make sure that I line that up just like that. And the same thing over here, line that up, okay? So that's how it's gonna look. And now these are gonna fold in, and then this is gonna fold down. If you trim too much on the sides, then your lid's not gonna stay closed. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add our Designer Series paper. Oh, goodness gracious. This is why I need my silicone mat, which we're going to be using that in just a minute for our flower. Okay, so this is going to go up here. And then now we'll do this one. I love the Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper. It's so beautiful. Okay, so right now, I need to repunch that half circle. Well, I didn't get it all, did I? There we go. Okay, now let's finish adding our paper. This is going to be a really long video because first we have to make the box and then we have to make the flower. I probably should have filmed them separately. Okay. Or maybe I'll fast forward through parts of it. We'll see. Okay, so there's that. Now we can close up our box. See? Very pretty. Now, let's make the flower. So the first thing we'll do is stamp this image on Whisper White cardstock with Mossy Meadow ink. And we want to stamp off one time, okay? So I'm going to take this is a scrap piece of white, or this vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be using one of them and not the other. One's for the stamping off and one's the one we're going to use. Okay, so that's the one we're not going to use. And this is the one we are going to use. So look at the difference. Now you can use this one if you want. I just prefer to have the more muted image, okay? Now, while we've got this open, let's go ahead and stamp. Thanks. And I'm not sure I left myself enough room to cut that out, so we'll stamp it 2 times just in case. We're going to take the light Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend marker, and we're going to color in the leaves. We're going to leave the flower as it is because it's going to be covered up with our white pieces. I can't remember if I've already mentioned this or not, but don't forget that when you purchase the bundle of the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set and the coordinating framelits, you do save 10%. This is my quick and dirty coloring. We have a lot left to do, so I'm just speeding through this. I might even fast forward this part. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so we are finished. That's quick and dirty, and I think it looks pretty good. It does have some holes in there, which actually makes it look good, right? Okay, so we are using the Magnolia framelit to cut this out. And then we're going to be using the rectangle, stitched rectangle for our greeting. And we're going to be recutting that to make it shorter. So I'm going to get the Big Shot now. You can use whatever cutting system you have along with our dies. Okay, so let's start with the beautiful flower. And just want to make sure that I line this up. That looks pretty good. Well, and it's not straight on here, so I need to fix that. Okay. Okay, so here's that one. We'll set that aside. And then now we're going to cut out the thanks. So I'm going to add it right there. Okay, so here's my image. What I'm going to do is place this die back on here and cut it again. Now I will tell you, sometimes it doesn't come out perfect, and if it doesn't, then we can try it again. I think if I turned the framelit upside down, it might be, I don't know, I've never tried it. Since we've got this here, let's go ahead and cut out our flowers. We need one of these and two of these, and we're just going to cut those out with Whisper White cardstock. So I'm going to use this scrap piece I have here and cut out one of those, one of these. And then another one of these. And then the final one that we need to cut out is Petal Pink with this little piece, okay? Okay, let's bring all these back in here. Put this here. Okay, so we're going to have the flower. We're going to have one big one, two small ones. I'm going to put these back on my magnet sheet so that I don't lose anything. And then now we want to take the hot air balloon punch, and we need to cut out 5 of these hot air balloons, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, these look like little miniature flower pots. Can you see that? Okay, lane swerve there, right? Let's get my silicone mat here. I'm going to be using Petal Pink ink with a sponge dauber. We're going to start at the bottom here, okay? So I'm just going to brush up. And that's a little heavy, so just, I always like to say dab off some of the ink. But that part's not going to get shown, so it's okay. Same thing on these pieces, okay? No, actually you're just going to do the center. Yeah, just the center on these. Oh, I had one more left of this one. Okay, we are done with that. We need a 1.5 inch circle, okay? So 1.5 inches. This is going to be the base for our flower. Now let me show you this template I have here, okay? This is Compliments of Stampin' Up, so this is not one of my creations. They actually had a video showing us how to make this flower. I changed the colors. Okay, so now that we have all of our pieces, now what we want to do is we want to curl all of these pieces, everything but the circle, okay? And I'm turning them upside down to curl them so that they curl up, okay? So just remember, upside down is how you want to curl them. Upside down meaning that the inked image, that the sponged. And the same thing on these, you're going to curl upside down. Okay, last one. Okay. So I think we are ready to make this flower. This is so amazing. I'm going to take my liquid glue with my 1/2 inch circle and just put a dab of ink right there. It's really nice using the liquid glue because if these petals don't line up exactly where we want them, then we can move it, okay? I'm going to actually use my spatula end of the Take Your Pick tool. Same thing, I'm going to put a dab of ink, not too much, and I'm just going to line up the petals so that they don't touch, but they're very close to each other, okay? So we're just going to go our way around the flower, or the circle, I should say, the circle. I'm going to turn this. And after we add the last one, if our flower is a little cattywampus, because we've used the liquid glue, we can adjust these petals really quickly. So see, I can tell right here that I need to adjust it a tad because look how far apart they are. So we just need to bring these in a bit. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't stress y'all out that I did that. Okay. See? Pretty cute, right? So now the next step. So we've got this one. Same thing, just a dab of ink right there in the middle. And ideally, I like to turn these so that they kind of cover up the bigger gaps, if you have any. Same thing. A little bit of ink, a little bit of adhesive. Same thing. That was almost too much adhesive. Okay, so now I'm just going to curl this up a little bit. I want to switch the end out here. Add that there. It's going to go right in the middle. And then we're going to take one of these. Can't remember the name of what this is, but it will be on the screen. Now, here comes the magic. See? It's going to go right over that. Now, I don't know if Stampin' Up! Did this or not, but I'm going to trim the stem. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I wanted to, okay? So it's going to go just like that. And I'm actually going to use 3 dimensionals because I actually wanted to pop it up a little bit. See? Okay. And then I like to just curl these up just a little bit more. I can tell I have a little too much space on some of these, so you can always move them a little bit closer before your adhesive dries, of course. Okay, let's get this box over here. And I can tell I actually do really like the Mossy Meadow better. So here's our greeting right here. I'm going to pop that up as well. So I'm going to place the greeting first and then add the flower. And I'm going to use dimensionals again. This is a dimensional friendly project. So you'll have to let me know what's your favorite. And don't forget, there's an inspiration sheet over on my website that has a picture with all the measurements and everything and a template for the box. Okay, so here's the Mossy Meadow. Here's the, what did I call that? What color is that? Petal pink. Yeah, pretty cute though, right? Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye.